It was an opportunity for a number of artists to get together and to try and make something happen that will involve the community in St Mary's. And we looked at digital and dance and music to come together, and also to help bring people together on the big Meet St Mary's night, which coincided with the cinema on the park. It felt like it was a big adventure, and that kind of look and that kind of, wow, we want to do this, we want to be involved, that's what gets people inspired. You get engaged in things that you believe in, and I believe this was a phenomenal way, very simply, of engaging people. My job is to make sure that everything's organised and that everyone knows what they're doing on the day. And I remember I'd organised the meeting for everyone to meet at 4 o'clock on the dot, and you get all these people together and go, welcome, we're here, we're going to make this happen tonight. The energy was there. I live for that. And I live for that because when the night came and everyone was doing what they needed to do as audiences came in and queued around the block to try and get into this as well, everyone knew what to do and everything was organised, and there was a buzz. Everyone believed in it. Everyone got it. Everyone has their own fabric and imprint that they have on the world. So turn up, be there, be present, be there with other people.
What you see is what you get with Fusion. They do what they say. There's an ethical framework to Fusion, which goes beyond religion in a way. It's an ethical framework to Fusion that's very authentic. It's believable and it works, and it does transform individuals, and it transforms communities.
The Fusion Sleep in Your Car promotion, together with Platform, has occurred this year, and that was the first time I actually slept in my car, and I went in with a girlfriend of mine. But it all started off on the corner behind me, where they had a lot of kiosks there with different promotional things and brochures. Rotary, actually, it was Rotary that were cooking on the night, so I was able to get a sandwich, and I'm sitting there by myself, really getting into the atmosphere. So I'm eating, I'm feeling like what it's like to be homeless. And this young girl taps me on the shoulder and she goes, "Hi ma'am," she said, "I'd like to give you this bag." That it had a lot of goodies in there, that there was toothpaste, there was hand cream, and there were a lot of other goodies that I would like. And that really made me feel like, you know, what it would be like to possibly be homeless, to have somebody tap you on the shoulder and give you a little bit of a lifeline. So I'm very grateful to have had that scenario happen to me, and I've still got this bag. I'm going to add some extra things in it and I'm going to pass it forward. So yeah, that's meant a lot to me as well.
So I first came across Fusion several years ago at a fundraiser, and I was just so impressed with the work they were doing in Western Sydney particularly, but all over the country, that I wanted to get involved. And not long after that, I found about this program they had called the Families Program, which does an amazing job for working with families who otherwise wouldn't be able to get access to education and training. And it was run by an amazing lady called Sally Hammond, and she does it without pay. Almost everybody who works in the Families Program does it for free, they're volunteers. So I committed myself then to try and raise some money for them. And so about then came up with the idea to have this marathon fight. So there's a record that exists, a Guinness Book of Records that exists for the longest fight, which is officially called the most consecutive rounds. It's held by an Irish chap at the moment called Jerry Cronolly, and the fight record's 123 rounds. So my goal is to beat his record of 123 rounds, and in the process raise as much money as I can for the Fusion Families Program.
Yeah, most of the guys here at 180TC are struggling with addictions. Have found themselves sort of at the end of their tether, and they've decided to get their life back on track. And I think what the Families course really does is actually give them tools. It also gives them the opportunity to make different choices to maybe what they grew up with, and gives them a range of choices to build their families' lives on. I suppose not everyone gets the opportunity to have an insight into other people's lives at such depth at times, and even though we're only here for an hour, the relationship that you build is significant, and I suppose that's what I get out of it, to be able to have some sort of impact into someone's life. So.
As I said, I retired about 3 years ago. Stayed at home for about 12 months. Got a little bit bored with staying at home. There's only so many books that you can actually read. I came to know Fusion through my granddaughter. My granddaughter applied for a job here a couple of years ago, and I brought her down to the interview, and that's where I found out what Fusion was all about. Spoke to a couple of people, and it worked out they needed a work health and safety person for their office, and I got the volunteer job, and I've been here now for the last 12 months. I love the work. I've been in it for 25 years, so it's like coming home. And what I'm actually doing is putting all their work health and safety policies and procedures, bringing them all up to date, reviewing them. I don't have a great deal to do with it, the other side of it, the young people. But what I do think is the fact if we can keep all our workers and our volunteers safe, and give them the tools when they go out and help these people to be able to pass that information on to those young people to stay safe and to look after themselves and to look after others, then that's an achievement. That I've given some of my skills over to others, and it goes down the line. It only takes one person to look after one person, and that one person might look after two people, and it cascades on.
It was pretty epic actually, it was pretty intense. We had a lot of people, and fairly important sort of people in the community, and we launched it, and it was quite intense for the first little while, figuring some things out that we hadn't quite figured it out. But yeah, no, it was really good. I think the response was really good, and it was nice to have the doors down and lift them up and sort of launch the cafe, and it was it's a good looking cafe, I think, so it sparkled when we first opened the doors, so it was cool. I really enjoyed it. It was a good day. It's not just my job to provide coffee for someone, it's also my job to, you know, I suppose a normal cafe, you're not compelled to initiate conversation or really care about that person, but I feel as part of Fusion, I think it's my job, and it's something I want to do. I want to care for people, not just serve them. I find a lot of people, when I tell them that we're not-for-profit and that our funds go back into our community work, they're really excited by that. They know that they're buying not just the coffee just for them, but it's also sort of bigger picture, it's helping out the community. So yeah, I think the future looks good.
So I was invited along to the Fusion fundraising dinner about 5 years ago, and was amazed at all the work that Fusion was doing, and thought, wow, this is great work, how can I be involved in this? But I had a 1-year-old, and I thought, what can I do? I've got a 1-year-old. I thought, oh, I could do playgroup. So I started coming along to playgroup with my little boy and got involved with helping Edwina, and I'm still helping Edwina even though my little boy's at school. So we run Wriggling Wombats on a Thursday morning from 10 till 12 at Doonside. The children come along, have a little play, then we do some singing, we have morning tea, and then we run separate activities for the children and the parents. Yeah, I mean, I've loved getting to know the ladies. You know, they're so warm and friendly, and it's been wonderful to get involved in their cultures, and they always want to feed you their beautiful food. I think the main thing you can contribute is just friendship to these people. You know, often they've come to Australia, they don't know anybody, or even if they live in Australia, you know, they might be in a new situation, they might be a new mum, and they don't have a support network. And just to be here every week, and you know, to know their name and to ask how their week is, and just to offer friendship and support is a great thing. So you don't have to have any skills, you just need to be available.
It's
So my name is Nigel Dakey and I'm the mentoring coordinator for Fusion, and I work with young guys from behavioural schools, as that's my role, to help them, come alongside them, filter through things to what's the heart of this young person, build some confidence, some skills that I've got I get to share with them, or mechanical skills, skills that I grew up on a farm and Dad hanging out teaching me things, so I get to teach those kind of things with these young guys. And they fully go in confidence. One guy with the bikes just recently, a lot of things I ask him to do comes up with, I can't do that, I can't, it's just so strong. But when I've sat down with him, showed him some basic skills, towards the end of that time he expressed to me, which is really cool, that I feel confident enough to fix bikes by myself. When I see them achieve something beyond that I can't feeling, it's, I'm proud of who they are at that point. They're growing to be the person that they could be, or becoming the person that they want to be. They're learning skills that they're asking questions about. Yeah, questions of discovery. Sometimes we're not even doing any work, we're just talking about life or what that means to them, or challenges that they've had. Or I don't want them to be dependent on me or Fusion, but that they have got some basic skills to flourish themselves, to find answers, to push through feelings, to be more resilient and discover their dreams, really.